Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Coffee with Hila. It's a bit noisy in the background. I think there's a birthday party. There was no video for Shabbat this weekend because, we all have... I'm a strong person. People who know me know I'm a strong person. Not much can break me. We've faced a lot of hardships since 7th of October, and I'm well aware and appreciative and grateful for when things go well, because I know things can always get worse. Many people live in a state of mind where they think when something happens, it's the end of the world. But I'm always myself conscious about, being grateful for what I've got. I'm grateful for my daughter surviving the Nova Festival. I'm grateful for so many things that could have gone wrong and didn't. But the heavens fell for me on Friday, and I will take some time. I need some time to resolve it to my satisfaction, and until then I will not be able to be as methodical as I would have liked to. I like to have my post for Shabbat and YouTube for Shabbat every Friday, and my Coffee with Hila about Israel every Sunday, which I kept for a few months. But I'm gonna take the summer holiday, make it a little bit... It's going to be a little bit more flexible. There'll be less videos coming up, and I hope they'll be equally interesting for you, and also give you some more information about what's happening in Israel. So since this Coffee with Eli is dedicated to Israel, I'm going to start with that. Things in Israel this past week have been very heated, especially in the north of Israel. There was a lot of attacks, a lot of fires caused by the Hezbollah attacks. Not much, if any, is being shown on public media like BBC, CNN, Sky News. The north of Israel is like a mystery, I think, to most of the world. But it's been very tough. People have been in and out of bomb shelters quite a lot. They've been caught on a Friday night. There is fires that burnt entire reservations, nature reservations. Animals have been hurt. People died. We lost at least 10 soldiers over the past week. And Hamas from Gaza is still firing rockets towards southern Israel after 9 months of war. We still have hostages held in Gaza, and today marks 9 months, and 9 months means something that is so difficult, so profoundly difficult. It's so difficult for me personally to think of the implications of what it means. And I see social media is filled with the insinuations of what it means to our kidnapped women. And it's very, very difficult to come to terms with that's a possibility, that some of them have experienced things that are getting even worse at the moment. I'm thinking about the baby Kfir, who was kidnapped when he was 8.5 months old, and now he's been held hostage for over 9 months. So he's been hostage longer than he's been alive. So that's also a painful, a sore spot. But we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop reminding the world of our hostages and fighting for their return, doing everything we can to bring them home. In the UK, there was elections. The woke won, but the elections in the UK are very different to how they are in Israel. I don't know how it works in America, but in England, you elect a candidate, which is your MP, which is your representative from your area or your town, and then all of those people who were elected form the government. So although a large number of people actually voted across the country to a different party to the one that has been elected to govern the UK, the majority of the representatives that have been elected have been from that individual party, like Labour Party, and so Labour has received an incredible amount of seats, which doesn't really add up to the number of people who elected them. For us, it's not amazing because they are going to, well, you'll see. You see, I already said a few things that are going to happen. I know a few things that they are planning to do. For the radical Islamists, they're not radical enough. For us, they are extremely radical because they have representatives which are, and some MPs which are extremely one-sided, biased, radical Islamists who would like to see Sharia law in the UK as soon as possible. So yeah, the days of freedom in the UK, if UK doesn't wake up, are numbered, and I hope that people will wake up to it, because today also marks the remembrance of the 7th of July terror attacks in England many years ago. So England suffered the wrath of terror. You know how it feels. You know how horrible it is to sit on a bus which explodes. Admittedly, it didn't happen as much as it did in Israel, but anyone who has been present at the scene, or who knows of these events, or knows somebody who was involved, know the profound feeling of helplessness when something like this happens. Because when terrorists target you, there's not much you can do or prepare to avoid that. It's a matter of luck, of being at the right time or the wrong time, wrong place, right place, whether you've been affected or not. Yeah, so I'm going to, it's very short today. I was thinking whether to at all do this. Like I said, I've got some family personal issues that need to be resolved, and until and I need to give it my utmost attention. And until this has been resolved, I will be on and off. And yeah, bear with me. I'll be back. Much love to all. Keep safe. Keep fighting. Yesterday there was a big Our Fight UK and Christians Associations Against Anti-Semitism in the UK held an amazing counter demonstration yesterday in London. They stood on Waterloo Bridge and they waved British flags, Israel flags, Nova Festival flags, flags of other nations on top of the pro-jihadists that were marching below them and shouting all sorts of swear words and insults and blood libels and hate. I think that was a massive success for Our Fight UK and Christians Associations Against Anti-Semitism. I think they did brilliantly. Some of them went down and held a massive sign saying no to terror, or something like this, said, get terror out, or something like this. I can't remember, but they held a sign and they walked amongst the jihadist supporters, and it took them a while to notice the protesters who were marching against Israel and against the Western world and civilization. It took them a while to notice that big sign, but eventually they did, and they showed their true face and started swearing and being offensive and aggressive and all that. So yeah, we're going to keep on. People who fight, freedom fighters, advocates for the truth, will continue. And we're going to be there. We're going to be there. So keep an eye open, and hope to see you soon. Have a good week and keep safe. Much love.